Hello and welcome back to Legacy of Leaders, where we interview the brightest and most interesting leaders in the community, and today is no different. I am your host, Whitney Mincey, and I'm joined by a very special guest, Mr. Chris Kell from Neotein Nutrition. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah,
Excited.
I'm glad to have you. So for those who are not familiar with your company, tell us a little bit about it and how you got into it.
Sure. So my wife and I were living in Japan, and my wife was training for triathlon. She had 2 kids via C-section within a year of each other.
Wow.
So as you might understand, it's very challenging physically.
Yeah.
So being the kind of woman she is, she wanted to challenge herself to achieve like a big physical goal. So she immediately got into it after Jack was born, my second, to be like, I want to become a professional triathlete. And she dove into that headlong. She was training 20, 30 hours a week, either when we were in Wisconsin or when we were in Japan, and that was part of her routine. And as we continued to, live in Japan and grow, and she continued to like train and execute her races and stuff.
Right.
She's having a really hard time finding a protein that was good on her stomach and also met the WADA standards, which are the needs for like clean supplements, right?
Okay.
Especially when she's traveling from here to different countries, especially living in Japan. And so since she couldn't find it, she's like, I'm just going to invent it. So I was taking collagen. I used to fly out of planes for a living in the Army.
Okay.
So my knees are a little damaged.
Yeah. Okay.
So I used to take collagen supplements every single day just for my own joint health, but I also take a supplementary protein supplement when I was doing a ruck or a workout, and she would do the same thing. We never really enjoyed that process. Like that was the thing that had to happen, the thing you wanted to happen.
Right.
So she was like, why can't people just use collagen to recover from athletic endeavors? Turns out it was missing an amino acid. My wife, through research, through my connections with nutritionists at U.S. Special Operations Command, through her connections at the U.S. Olympic Committee, and through her coach, who was like a very good triathlon trainer, we went into testing and we figured things out. And she worked her butt off, and she drove this process. And soon enough, we have this proprietary formula for Neotein, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's collagen, it's electrolytes, it's a fortified collagen, which means we have all the amino acids there. So think of what you get from like eating an egg, but from this, all the collagen benefits for your joints, your skin, your health. And then it tastes like lemon lime, and we're coming out with cherry passion fruit in about 3 weeks. We'll be able to start selling that because it's coming in.
Yeah.
And all these other like fun, refreshing flavors. And so when people need to take their protein, they don't have to drink a chocolate shake when it's 105 degrees outside.
Right.
Not a fun time.
No.
So yeah,
I've been there.
So yeah, we sell a stick pack of goodness.
Yeah.
I think that's like how I describe it.
Okay, so hold on. We've got to go back.
There's a little bit there.
Go back.
You got to uncover some stuff.
Is your background or her background in wellness?
No.
So how did you guys come to the conclusion that we're going to create what doesn't exist in the market already?
So she came to that conclusion.
Okay.
So my wife does not accept no in like a very healthy way.
Yeah.
So if something doesn't meet her standard or something doesn't make her proud, and that's one of the things that attracted me when I first met her. I was like, this lady is amazing.
Right.
Right. I was like a special operations guy in the Army. I was pretty fit. She met her in Colorado. She destroyed me when we were going up a hill, like up there for 20 minutes drinking coffee, and I'm dying as I'm coming up behind her. And I was like, I'm going to marry this lady. So due to her, she's just like, fine, I'll just make it.
Yeah.
And then we figured out what that process was, and she mostly did.
Gotcha.
Right? I'm support here.
Yeah.
And she figured out how formulation works, manufacturing, patenting, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it took 2 years for us to go from like initial idea to, oh, this is actually sitting in our hands. Like we did this.
Wow.
Let's sell it.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of human she is. That's why I know that, we're going to succeed, and we're really kind of proud of this family thing we put together.
Yeah, that's incredible. So for the people that are watching and very interested in your product, who is it for? Is it for a very serious athlete, or is it for anyone?
It's for pretty much everybody.
Okay.
So there is about 54%, I could be wrong here. I've been hitting the head a lot, just to be honest. People are a little bit protein deficient.
Okay.
Carbohydrates are really readily available in a lot of the foods that we eat. And we believe the same thing. Like, you should get most of your nutrition through what you're eating. But we wanted a really good product that would be high quality and not be too much. So it's not 250 calories, it's 45 calories.
Okay.
It doesn't have 5 grams of sodium, it has 140 milligrams of sodium, because most people get enough sodium throughout their day.
Gotcha.
So this is really designed for anybody.
Okay.
We have put it through the Special Forces Qualification course, we've had it at Ranger School, we've had it with ultra runners running across the country and going up the side of mountains, and they have all used it and found really, really good results for like lessening soft tissue injuries, not feeling dehydrated,
Right.
not getting those things that you normally associate.
Yeah.
And they like the fact that it was in a stick pack, because they could just run,
Yeah, and then
drop
quickly.
it, drink it, good to go, nice and easy.
Yeah.
So I take one first thing in the morning, just as my collagen supplement, and then I also take one after I work out or during a workout.
Gotcha.
And that's where I find it. My father-in-law has been a construction guy, flipping houses for 30-something years now. He's in his mid-60s. He takes 2 a day.
Okay.
We have guys that work in warehouses doing that. We have guys that are on the front lines in different parts of the world using it pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And it's a very flexible product.
Okay. So we're almost out of time, but I'd love to know.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You're clearly so very passionate. I have to hear more about this
Yeah.
offline. But so you've got experience from the military. How did your experience in the military help to transition you into being a successful business owner?
Okay. I would say the best thing about the military was it taught me how to problem solve,
Okay.
especially in the communities I was involved in. I was a civil affairs guy in the active duty side, so I went through a selection and assessment program. I went through a qualification course. I went through a lot of advanced training, both tactically and through like negotiation training. And in the U.S. Army Special Operations community, you solve the problem. You don't let anything seem like a challenge that's not able to be overcome.
Right.
And when you're an entrepreneur, and I learned this, I did really well at Amazon. I got up to a regional leadership level, and that's where I learned like all my operations experience.
Yeah.
But being an entrepreneur is way harder because it's way more broad. You're
Yeah.
always hustling, you're always thinking about something, and you're going to run into no a lot, and you have to figure out how to turn a no into a yes a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So for my wife is a great example, right? She and I have a very similar personalities when it comes to we are just going to figure it out.
Right.
She couldn't find a manufacturer for the longest time because we have this crazy idea, nobody had ever done it before.
Right.
But, through persistence in 6 months of her calling every manufacturer in the United States,
Wow.
she finally got somebody to just listen to her. And as soon as they listened to her, they're like, oh, yes. We're going to jump in on this. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And it's tenacity.
Yeah.
Life is a lot about tenacity and running into challenges that everybody runs into and just not accepting what life sometimes tells you need to accept.
That's great, and I think that is a great point to leave with our audience and everyone that has tuned in for this video today. So thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you. I loved being here.
Yes, and if you want to learn more about Chris and Neotein, make sure you go to dailynewsnetwork.com. We will see you next time on Legacy of Leaders.